Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me this time. Earlier this week, I was having a conversation about gates. Not Bill Gates or the gates that you slam in the door. I was actually conversing about the three gates in your body. It's your ear gate, your eye gate, and your mouth gate. And with these gates, you actually have the ability to do several things. You guard your heart, it protects your mind, and it really determines the attitude that you're going to have moving forward. This week I was having a conversation with my sister, and I told about a situation that I was dealing with. And after I made the decision, I waited. And when I waited, I began to hear all kind of things. And what happened was, first it was, you shouldn't have did that. Then it turned into, they think you are supposed to help them. And then it went from, you help everybody. Then it went from, you don't have time. And it went from so many different levels until I got confused. When you make a decision and you're still and you wait for God to tell you your next step, you got to be very mindful of being still and the enemy working with the decision you just made. This is what I mean. The enemy has no time to tempt you with stuff you have no desire for. The enemy has no time to tempt you with things you have no desire for. Watch this. When Jesus was on the mountain and he was fasting, the enemy came and he said, I'm going to say it in layman's terms. You're hungry. You're fasting. You know you need to eat. And he said, get behind me. And he said, well, if you're God, throw yourself down and give the angels charges over you that you may pull yourselves up. Two things. He was hungry and he was on a mountain. The enemy will tempt you with the very thing that you desire. I don't know where people get this ideology that the enemy has this big old red face and this pitchfork and these horns, because he doesn't. He tempts you with his words. And his words are powerful. People don't want to give the enemy credit, but his words are powerful. He tempted the Lord himself with the very thing that he was dealing with at that time. That's why when you make a decision, you must be very quiet, because the enemy will tempt you with things that you're struggling with. He'll tempt you with things that you desire at that time. Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden. And the Bible says that she began to speak to the serpent. And as she began to speak with him, he spoke to her about the very thing that she possibly was struggling with, because he had to get her attention. He said to her, go ahead and eat. You're not going to die. You are going to have wisdom, knowledge. You're not going to die. As she stood in front of the tree, I can imagine her thoughts was, I wondered if I eat, what would really happen? I'm going to let you think in a different mindset every time you follow me, because God gives me revelation knowledge to share with you. Listen, how is the enemy, who was considered beautiful, he was the most beautiful angelic angel, get a third of the heaven to believe that he could be like the Most High? He used his words. Had they paid attention to their ear gate, their eye gate, and their mouth gate, it would not have given them the opportunity to be fallen from grace, just like he was. People always say the enemy is stupid. Yeah, he gets on everybody's nerves, but he's crafty. And he uses every situation you're struggling to get you to come away from praying and fasting, or to get you to change your mind about decisions that you know God told you to do, or to get you in a place of depression, or to get you to do something that is totally against your beliefs by using his words. He uses the ear gate. He uses the mouth gate. He uses your eye gate. So he lets you see something, and then he'll let you say something. Then he'll let you hear something to totally get you off focus. And that's what I'm here to tell you. He is so crafty. He is cunning. And he knows exactly what he is doing when he tells you, do A, B, C, and D. The Bible says to keep your mind in perfect peace. And the key to that is you must keep your mind on him during this season in your life. Because the enemy's whole desire is to get you so off focus, he will get you to make the wrong decision. And it will prolong your destiny. It won't stop it. It'll prolong it. He will talk you out of things. He will show you why you shouldn't. And he will have someone come along and speak the very thing that possibly he's been trying to get in your thought process all along. And everything will be not ruined forever, prolonged. He will tell you you lost that job because you wasn't doing a good job. But the enemy doesn't understand that no matter how much he speaks, no matter how much he tries to plague your mind, he is a defeated foe. As I begin to talk to my sister about the decision that I made this week, no sooner than I hung up the phone, I know the enemy was listening to the conversation that she and I were having. And he began to say, Jamila, you shouldn't have did that. Or maybe you shouldn't have did. Or you shouldn't have. And you couldn't have. And everything I began to hear, I began to be very, very quiet. And guess what I did? I talked back. I was like, the devil is a liar. Nope, I know exactly what I did. Yep, I sowed that seed. I'm going to sow my way out of this thing. So what? And guess what? There is nothing wrong with going to defense for what you know God told you to do. There is nothing wrong to talking back to him. Absolutely. Say, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. I was talking to another girlfriend and she was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to follow him. And no, you're not going to do that. And as she began to say, no, I'm not going to do that, she began to sit there. And when she began to sit there, she was like, well, maybe I should do this. And everything that she said she wasn't going to do, the longer she sat still, the things that she said she wasn't going to do, she was like, yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Because she was still. And she began to listen to the voices saying, no, check his phone. No, go follow him. No, go on his Facebook page. No. And everything she said she wasn't going to do, guess what she did? She did it. And when she did it, she was so mad at herself because she said, I should have listened to my mind. Her mind got so diverted because she was very still. And everybody knows that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. That's why when you're going through certain situations, you have to keep moving. You have to get around people who are speaking good things, positive things. You have to get yourself in a place where you can hear God say, you're doing the right thing. Keep it going. Keep it pushing. You have to be covered at all times. I'm saying this season is of detriment to someone until you cannot stay still because the enemy is waiting for that opportunity to get your ear gate, to get your eye gate, and to get your mouth gate. Things are going to happen. It's life. Life happens. It's the ups and downs. But you must be imperative to guide your gates. The Bible says guard your heart with all diligence. And the only way you guard your heart is to guard your ear gates, your eye gate, and your mouth gate. That's the only way. Because he is sitting down and he's talking to you. And he's telling you all the wrong things to do. He's beguiling. That's what he did to Eve. She was beguiled. He tricked her. He didn't trick her with stuff that she didn't want. He tricked her with the very thing she struggled with. The enemy's desire is to sift us like wheat. And you know how he does it? He does it by attacking those very three gates that we're talking about right now. He will attack you with the very thing that you're struggling with. If you're struggling in your marriage, he ain't gonna let you fight all the time. That's too easy, because guess what? A couple hours later, a couple weeks later, y'all gonna be all right. But he'll beguile you with that very thing that you're tempted with on a daily basis. And it's imperative that you lay hands on your eye gate, your ear gate, and your mouth gate. And so what you do today is when you go home, you pray, you say, God, cover my eyes. Let me see what you have me to see. Cover my ears. Let me hear your voice and your voice only. Cover my mouth. Let me speak only the words that you want me to say. And help me moving forward to practice speaking well of myself and others. If you take 2 minutes of your day and cover your gates, it keeps the enemy at bay. We have to get into practice of covering the very thing that protects our heart and our mind. The enemy is very crafty. He did it to Adam and Eve. How you going to take our third of the heavens? And it bothers me because he thought he could be like the Most High. He convinced a third of the heavens that he could be with the Most High. He beguiled them. And that's what he's trying to do to you. He's telling you, you were fired. You lost that job. Your husband gonna leave. He ain't never coming back. You never gonna get ahead. You will always be damaged. You're never gonna get over somebody molestation. He talks to you on a consistency about the very things that you're struggling with. And guess what? The only reason he wins is because you give him the credit and say, you know what? You might be right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Well, you might be right. I didn't do a good job. But this is where God gives us a reminder. And he says, I come that you may have perfect peace. I come. And so cover every part of your gates so that God can continuously guide you to where you're supposed to go in this season. Everything in your life is God's direction for you to have an abundant life. Even the detours. Do you know that every detour leads you to your victory? Every one. And that's why you cover your ear gate, your eye gate, your mouth gate. And you talk back to that devil and say, you a liar. The truth is not in you. And y'all got to get it. The truth is not in the devil. Why do y'all believe it? The truth is not in him. But he tricks you because you believe it. The truth is nowhere in him. So everything he said you couldn't have, the truth is not in him. Believe the truth because God is the truth. The promise on your life is the truth. Know that you are the truth. And it's the enemy's job to make you believe the lie that he is. Cover your ear gate. Cover your eye gate. Cover your mouth gate. And every time you have a conversation with someone, be very quiet. Because once you put it in the air, remember with Job, the Bible said that with Daniel even, that he came for his words. That's what he said. He came for his words. So every time you speak, the enemy is coming for your words. And because he hears your words, he comes back and he tries to sift you like wheat with the very things that you spoke about. Okay? So please do me a favor today. Pray for your ear gate. Pray for your mouth gate. Pray for your eye gate. Because God is going to give you everything that the devil said you couldn't have. He's a liar. I love y'all. And every time you click my button, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Because that's the only thing that will set you free. I love you. Bye-bye.